everybody, and welcome back to another Under the Radar Netrunner experience. I'm Tim, and that's me on the left. My opponent is Adam. He's over on the right. This is match 2, game 1. I am playing Wayland, Building a Better World, so I gain a credit every time I make a transaction. And Adam is playing Kit. The first ice that he encounters every turn will gain co-gain until the end of the run. The first thing I want to do is I just want to congratulate Adam. Adam got married this past weekend. Hopefully that means he can still continue to play lots of Netrunner, because our community would certainly hate to miss him. But an install in front of R&D, and then a hedge fund. Runner starts off with a dirty laundry to archives. You know, if it's unprotected, it's there, get that free money. Another dirty laundry. So already in a good position. We got the money. We are ahead of Wayland, which is where we need to be, because we do not want to see our faces scorched off. Third action is going to be to draw a card. And our fourth action is to run R&D. See if we can get that corporation to spend more money than they want to. So we see a hive get flipped, and the corporation starts their turn. Adam also went along suit of the other decks that were playing a lot of the newer, unique cards. I can see a black cat in his hand. I'm not entirely sure if he'll play it out, and we'll get to see it played out. But using the lockpicks and other stealth credit generation to fuel these things, really good card against Hive. Because it'll let you just break all those subroutines, especially as the corporation starts scoring down points, so you can begin to set your rig up and build for late game, especially when you play out an inside man, 2 recurring credits to install hardware. It's going to use those credits to get a replicator. And are we going to use the replicator? We're going to take a look at our hands. I really like the way that Adam's deck worked. Really strong Kit build. Maybe not necessarily in terms of like overall meta and what you're hoping to see happen strong. I mean, I thought it was a quality deck. I thought it was a good deck to play against. That's the beauty of runners, though, in my opinion. Is that especially at tournaments like this, their meta is very different. The guys play against each other all the time. They know each other. So they constantly find themselves throwing in little twists and turns, playing runners that nobody's ever played, playing cards nobody's ever played, just to keep each other on their toes, because that's the way that you can potentially win in their meta, is to just do something no one's expecting and to go for it from that aspect. So I like the replicator. We see an R&D interface in his hand. It's going to allow him to go get more of those. So to be able to kind of build up credits and build a rig and then drop and then set up a couple really big runs in a row and try to win the game that way. From my experience, that's where I've seen the game shift to. Aside from Andromeda's trying to run every turn, forms more of a security testing, Desperado, data sucker drip economy, but still could be bursty if she had to be. Whereas you see a lot of other runners playing out really burst to be like, I'm going to build a rig, I'm going to build a rig, I'm going to build a rig, and then I'm going to go and I'm going to try to score 4 points in this run, and hopefully I'm set up, and then either sneak just a couple agendas here or there, sneak the big one. If I scored a 3-pointer, we got to win one more. So setting up big runs to pick up multiple agendas in one run or in one turn, such as if you have 2 or 3 R&D interfaces, you see 4 cards, you score an agenda, you see 4 more cards, maybe there's another agenda buried, or you hit an indexing. Indexing's pretty popular to do things like that. So I guess when I say, the runner deck's really good or his deck's really good, it's relative to your meta-ish, it's relative to your opinion-ish, and just like any other game, it's relative to your ability to actually play the game. You could sit there and say, oh, I don't have any idea what I'm doing, and I'm going to just run all these really great cards, and you're going to lose. And your opponent's going to wonder how you lost playing Static Breaker Andy against a deck that they built in 35 seconds. But, so you got to be good, and, like I said, Jupiter Games is filled with really good quality players. Sorry that I haven't been paying a whole lot of attention. Just a lot of burst economy from the corporation. We saw an install on that remote, then gain 2 credits, install on the remote, played a restructure, and then we see install the second tier ice and install in advance on that agenda, which I believe is not the posted bounty. So that would make me believe it's the Project Atlas. We can go search for a card. And we saw an Opus. We got a couple clicks on the Opus. And we install that R&D interface. We're going to go grab another one. So the play that I believe is coming is using, Kit's code gate ability to turn that hive into a code gate. Not a bad play to let this agenda get scored out either. Kick 2 subroutines off the hive, let it go. I mean, if it's a posted bounty, he's got to have both scorched. It's kind of a chance that you sit to take. It's better than knowing you're down credits, having to run through that server, steal the agenda, and then get mid-season or C-source. So, right play there. Get the subroutines down. Yes, you don't have a self-modifying code to go get what you need, but I'm assuming that he has the answer in his hand. That would, Adam's not a terrible player. He understands. Can't make mistakes like that, and given that we already saw the lockpick and the black cat, he's all ready to go. So in a couple credits, he could be seeing a lot of cards here from R&D. That was an interesting play down here. He might be trying to save it for a trick and a big run. That's the code gate subroutine with stealth, if I'm not mistaken. So when installing that remote, advance. So it could be the cleaners, could be a posted bounty, could be another Project Atlas. Probably not an NAPD contract unless this is a really wacky Wayland build. 10 credits to 9 credits. So easily could try to run at it, get the res dice, and then Opus up. So believing it's probably a posted bounty. It's probably heavily protected. You got to go get it, but if you don't click that Plascree, at least maybe try to run it to get him to protect it with maybe enough money that he can't play both Scorched Earths or bank on him not having them. Alright, so the R&D interface goes down for the first click. Uses those 2, gets his 2 money back. Inside man paying off. He played 3, so it's 6 credits, so it's netted him 4. Already worth. Gonna play another one. I'm sorry, I made a mistake earlier. Yeah, of course he plays out the code gate breaker. I didn't need the barrier one because the first code gate that he encounters every turn becomes a code gate. The first piece of ice. And there's the lockpick, which is going to give him the recurring credit. So now he can go ahead and run at... and then to get another lockpick. So this deck's really starting to take off here with the Opus on the table. We could potentially... if it is a posted bounty, you gotta have both Scorched Earths, but we'll yet to see here. Could just be a little too late for the runner. I mean, we have another lockpick, we can play it out. We're going to be able to start running R&D and seeing 4 cards. Unbelievable. 4 cards. A lockpick giving us just unbelievable amounts of credits for that code gate breaker. Magnum Opus to give us even more cards. And what are we going to do here for our last action? Last action, we are going to run R&D. We're going to spend that credit. And I can't remember how many subroutines that breaks.
Yep. And I see the top of R&D and...
1, 2, 3, 4. And we are going to score hostile takeover. So unfortunate, not really what you want to see. Pulling the Project Atlas counter. Let's see what we're going to grab. A Scorched Earth. This is probably going to do it. We're probably going to see the C-Source Scorched. Really unlucky, though. Haven't seen a whole lot of agendas come out. One's got scored, one's on the table. It's probably a posted bounty. It is a posted bounty, so score the posted bounty. Give the tag. 2 Scorched Earths. That's going to be the game.
Eli, you could have ran this and bankrupted me because I wouldn't have been able to do it because I would have had to flip something.